Friends, good day. Maxim Gorky, I have in my hand today. This is the collection of his short story. The name of this is The Fragment from My Diary. This is the collection of short stories written by Maxim Gorky. And today, the short story which I'm going to discuss with you is the name is Fat-Faced Passion by Maxim Gorky. Fat-Faced Passion. So, this Faced Passion is a socialist, realistic short story penned by Alexei Maximovich Pishkov, popularly known as Maxim Gorky. Maxim Gorky was the founder of the socialist literary style widely used to produce artistic material in the USSR or Soviet Russia in the early part of 20th century. He vehemently opposed the Tsarist regime and the Bolshevik seizure of power during the Russian Revolution of 1917. He went on to attack the victorious Lenin's dictatorial method in his newspaper New Life, like Fat-Faced Passion, this short story which we are going to discuss. Most of his writing are either set in a period when Russia was not on the brink or in the middle of the communist revolution. In this short story, titled Fat-Faced Passion, Gorky shows the ill effect of the Industrial Revolution in the urban centers of Russia, which include the displacement as well as the migration of workers to the cities. The story also deals with the lack of open space because of the setting of the heavy-duty industries and the lack of humanism in the urban areas. Masha and her 12-year-old son. This is the story of Masha and her 12-year-old son Lyonka paint a sad and heart-wrenching spectacle of what life was like in Russia in the early days of 20th century. I have analyzed another short story by Maxim Gorky with similar type our lover. So today we will discuss. The story opens in this the fat faces. We will discuss the story like it opens with Masha, a scar-faced and disfigured prostitute dancing in the mucky and filthy puddle in the middle of an urban road because she was dead drunk. A 21-year-old named Leonid tries to pull her out of the muck because it was knee-deep and there is a possibility of her drowning. He does this out of pity and compassion, and he has for his fellow proletariat. Like the night guard who dismisses that Masha needs help and says that Masha makes such drunken scandals every night. Probably he was trying to hint that Masha would act like this purposely so that the man could take her home and then have sex with her. Leonid takes her home and takes off her clothes in front of her 12-year-old disabled son. He does this not to have sex with her, but to dry her wet clothing near the grungy room stove. Masha lies dead, asleep in a drunken stupor on her bed while Leonid converses with the boy Lyonka. Lyonka, real name happens to be Leonid as well. This is indicative that the 21-year-old Leonid sees Lyonka as a picture of his own young and idealistic self. This also means that he looks upon Masha as his mother and not a lover. Maxim Gorky is always very tender in his description of relationship between son and mother. This is evident in this short story titled Fat-Faced Passion as well. Lyonka is a crippled and has withered legs. However, he is highly idealistic and dreams of one day growing old enough to beg so that his drunken mother could buy him a cart. He then wishes to beg and travel in that cart and go primarily to find and see an open field. The open field indicates that the industrialized urban center was so overpopulated with industries and a multitude of people living in hovels and pollution that disabled boy's one dream was to see an open field. Lyonka is a sort of reflective biologist or zoologist in making. He kept a manager bugs in boxes and showed these bugs to Leonid. However, these bugs are the grosser and lower order of bugs or insects. For example, cockroaches and flies. This represent the proletariat indirectly who was forever at the mercy of haves or elite class. Among these bugs, one cockroach is named animism by Lyonka. Lyonka says animism boosts like a soldier. Then comes a fly called bureaucrat, scum on the earth because of his harsh dealing and corruption. Lastly, the cockroach named landlord is a shameless, rich drunken keeping the have-nots in check and living in a poverty. Maxim Gorky seems to give us a crude but effective lesson in basic Marxist and socialist element in this little zoological exercises. The unfortunate thing was that Lyonka had no pretty insect of the higher order or class, that is moths and butterflies. This is because they were rare to find, especially in the ghettos of industrialized towns and cities. What unfortunate boy he is. He could not find a butterfly to play with or to store it. He only find a cockroaches or a lower rank of insect. The higher order were few during the Tsarist regime, but they had most of the collective monetary resources and power in their grasp. Leonid is a kvass salesman. Kvass is a fermented grain drink sort of alcohol beer. To create that tangy fermented flavor, kvass makers start with a Russian brown bread. You soak it in a water, then add some yeast to get what you want. So this is evident that Leonard had a good stock of kvass, which was liked by Lyonka's mother. Masha, Leonard would also be able to get a lot of boxes to pack the kvass in. This is obvious to the disabled boy, so he asked Leonard of kvass and boxes to keep more bugs. Leonard does more than just that. The next day he procures clean boxes, bugs, butterflies, cookies and buns. This was the considerate of Leonard. Gorky always paints such young, educated men of Russia during and around the communist revolution in this manner. Lyonka and his mother Masha appreciate the goddess that Leonard buys. Lyonka eats candy and then saves the paper wrapping neatly so that he may use it to make something good for this only friend Katka, a water delivery girl. She is the only friend the disabled boy had. It was infatuation on his side, while the water delivery girl only humored a poor, helpless and enthusiastic little boy. Lyonka and Masha are poor. Lyonka has probably not been educated at all. He thinks that becoming a beggar is a promotion in life, which denotes the state of affairs in his family. Lyonka categorically mentions in the first part of the short story titled Fat-Faced Patient that man came to sleep with his mother and take off her clothes. He was used to the day and night regiment of prostitute. However, Lyonka feels Leonard is different, as he did not take off his mother's clothes and he did not beat her like her other lovers. And Leonard was good to Lyonka. Lyonka therefore tells his mother Masha to marry Leonid. Lyonka was too much tragedy, poverty in his young life. He finds it eventful to able to look out his basement window. But even this wish is not granted him because Masha always forget to clean the window. She never raises her disabled son to look outside the window because she is depressed and alcoholic and a woman who's looked down upon due to her scarred face. She was once a maid to a notary, a public commission official who serves an impartial witness to the signing of legal document signings where notary service are regulated include real estate deeds, affidavit, wills, trust and power of attorney. Masha's man was Lyonka's father but seemed to be out of picture where Masha is concerned. She probably and conceived Lyonka without marrying the notary. The government official must have rejected Masha because of her face, because his newborn son had a disability. Lyonka has a romantic way of looking at life. Romanticism is present most of Maxim Gorky's socialistic realistic fiction. Existentialism interspersed with romanticism. This is not to be mistaken with the social issue. Realistic fiction which concern highlighting social issue in general, not in a communist level. So this is the scar-faced, this novel is Masha's scarred face is the like scarred face of Russian because of sudden rampant industrialization. She's probably a migrant to the urban center where the short story takes place and lives in a ghetto with her only son. When she adores, Lyonka has nightmare where he sees a tree upside down or a dog that keep eating his mother's intestine and spitting them out. The first dream concerned the upside down nature of an early 20th century that has brought industrialization but no salvation to the Russian poor. The dog in the dream represent the haves who pull out the very innards of the poor or have-nots and then squander in the money. This is also indicative of the landed classes in Russia. Symbology flows effortlessly and beautifully through pen of Maxim Gorky, another Russian short story writer who writes equally moving prose is Lev Tolstoy. You will find Tolstoy, we will discuss it later. So ladies and gentlemen, this scarred face short story written by Maxim Gorky depicted beautifully the real life of those days of urban Russia and the life of, through this he symbolized those days of Russia, and a very interesting short story. I prefer that you must read this short story. Thank you very much.